Solomon here, super excited to be with Genfinity, interviewing a multitude of builders across Web3. We've got a panel of legends up here today. There is a gigantic Hedera Africa Hackathon about to kick off, over $1 million. Lots of premier sponsors and partners, but super excited today to have representation from the Hashgraph Association, DAR Blockchain. We've got Michael from Hashgraph Online with us today. Jaffer, Ismail, and Laura. But I'm going to kick right off because there's a ton to get into. I guess, to kick off here, I'll ask kind of the boilerplate question. Maybe I'll start with you, Laura. Can you tell me or tell the audience what the Hedera Africa Hackathon is and what helped to inspire its creation? And anybody else that wants to take that as well.
First, thanks for having us today. It's a pleasure to be with everybody here. The basic element, if anyone knows the Hashgraph Association, is that the basic aim of the Hashgraph Association is to create, help entrepreneurs and help businesses innovate across the globe. And one of the most important continents for us has been Africa. Africa has a lot of potential in terms of, the educated youth, in terms of the ideas that are coming out of Africa, and in terms of the leapfrog that Africa can make from where it is today to where it can be in the digital era in the future. So this is one of the basic reasons that we wanted to organize and help create the Hedera Africa Hackathon. Another important thing, I think, is that we're already really, we have a foot in Africa. We've been working in Morocco with governmental entities to create, virtual asset studios and labs to help support startups and the government there in their aim to move forward in terms of DLT, blockchain, AI, and all the rest. We've worked with DAR Blockchain in Tunisia over the past few years, doing a lot of educational activities for developers and carrying out hackathons in the country as well. And it has grown exponentially, and we've seen the possibilities that are there from being present in Africa. So hopefully this hackathon will be the first of many. And thanks. I hope that was good enough. Anyone want to add anything?
Yeah, thank you, Lara, for sharing this information. And as you mentioned, so we've been working on this huge initiative since a while, along with Exponential Science Foundation, the Hashgraph Association, and also DAR Blockchain as operational partner. We've decided to focus on this huge initiative for the continent. I think it's the biggest tech event happening for the continent, not only for Web3, only also for Web2 audience. And this came because of our interest in the continent, first of all, but also I think today, blockchain and cryptocurrency is not an option for the Africans. It's really bringing value. It's really bridging gaps, and especially talking about payment solutions. If you see, I don't know, if in the US and Europe, today there are some regulations at least that allows these type of solutions to rise and to shine. And in Africa, it's not still the case, even though many countries are now onboarding these new regulations. But we see the adoption coming like never before. If we talk about Nigeria, for instance, Nigeria, one out of 3 person have cryptocurrency today, even though regulations are not in favor of cryptocurrency. Not only Nigeria, like most of the countries today, they are struggling as their local currencies are volatile. And also, we're talking about all the problems with fraud, with traceability, with transparency, and this a blockchain and Hashgraph or Web3, as DLTs are bringing all the needed solution to this type of issue. So Web3 is not an option for the continent, and at Hedera, we saw this and we decided to tackle this by creating several opportunities, starting from this hackathon. This hackathon is only a beginning of a long journey. We are trying to provide the needed mentorships, to needed educational sessions so that entrepreneurs can leverage this to know about Hedera and to try to build solutions, and also win and compete about this very attractive $1 million prize pool. For now, we are onboarding more than 100 universities to be part of this, talking with the major incubators, the major accelerators, VCs on the continent to support us on basically designing this new environment for the Web3 space in Africa. I saw Salman coming, so maybe it's a good opportunity for him to introduce a bit Exponential Science Foundation, as they are one of the co-organizers of this huge initiative. So yeah, but maybe back to you, Salman.
You're muted, Salman. Or maybe your source, maybe your audio source.
Yeah, I think you have a problem with your audio. Yeah. Yeah, I think he has this issue. We'll come
No,
back.
he's gonna switch in. I think while we wait for Salman to switch in, Ismail, if you could maybe just tackle. I think one of the big things, and I know that this is a sticking point too, is that this is like global participation. So the hackathon itself is all online, but participants can be pretty much spread out globally. Ismail, from 𝐷AR blockchain standpoint, can you just provide a little bit more insight about who can participate in the hackathon itself?
For sure. So the hackathon, while the focus is on Africa and bringing impact into the African continent and ecosystem, the idea is for a hackathon to be open to everyone all over the world. So the hackathon will be open to everyone who is a student, entrepreneur, whatever it is, whatever their interest is. They just have one condition, which is completing the Hedera certification, developer certification, before submitting the project. The certification is provided for free, and I will put a link in the comments. You can find the link for the certification. We do provide office hours and mentors to help you get the certification. And we also have spaces on Discord, on Telegram, and all other spaces to help people make a team, to help people ideate. And also, we will soon be launching more than 20 hacking stations all over Africa for people to have even a physical space to try to start hacking, create a team, start building their project, and start preparing for the big phase.
Salman, let's try again. Do we have audio?
Test.
Yes, we have audio.
All right.
Great.
Perfect. So hello, everyone. Thank you for hosting us on this call. I'm sure Jafar and Ismail did a great introduction as to what the hackathon is, what we're trying to build, and what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce the Exponential Science Foundation a little bit, and then we can continue our conversation. So the Exponential Science Foundation is basically the co-organizer and co-funder of the Hedera Africa Hackathon. And in short, Exponential Science is a not-for-profit foundation that unites researchers to turn fundamental science into new ventures and discoveries. Our goal is to advance a wide and safe adoption of emerging digital technologies by empowering industries, regulators, and innovators to fulfill their potential through scientific progress. And the way we do that is through basically lots of projects and lots of programs similar to this one. And a way that we really get that amplified is through partners such as THA, 𝐷AR blockchain, so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to being of value to this program and to a lot of other programs along the way. And we're really excited for what the Hedera Africa Hackathon has in store. I mean, as the guys, I believe, mentioned before I joined, this is one of the biggest hackathons in the history of the continent. And yeah, it's going to be big. So to everyone who's tuned in, to everyone who's listening, I urge you guys to join and make use of this opportunity because this will be groundbreaking.
Awesome. No, and to kind of preface again, and maybe I'll just keep dropping it through here. For those that are interested, definitely check out the hackathon page, which has kind of all the information that you would need. It's Hedera Hackathon.hashgraph.swiss. And as Ismail mentioned earlier, this is, global participation. This is an online hackathon, and anybody throughout the world can kind of participate. So this isn't just, individuals kind of hacking directly from Africa, although obviously there's a lot of value added into kind of the region. But Michael, we haven't gotten to you yet from the artificial intelligence standpoint. I know you guys are taking kind of a big seat at the table and driving one of the tracks forward. Can you tell us a little bit about Hashgraph Online and the role within the Hedera Africa Hackathon and what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. And as always, really pleased to be here on the Genfinity show. Hashgraph Online has come on board as a sponsor to the Hedera Africa Hackathon. And what that kind of means is that we'll actually be co-leading the AI track for the hackathon. With the AI track, we see it as one of the most important areas of focus, not just in Web3, but also Web2 and literally in every industry around the world. We should all be paying attention to AI today because it's going to augment, supplement, and change the reality of our lives in any way that you can imagine, especially in things like Web3 as well. Today, it's no secret that the user experience in Web3 industries is not great, right? We've all been there. We have to manage things like private keys. There are security exploits happen constantly. And it's gotten worse, actually, if not better, because now we have more and more chains and more layers, layer 2s, layer 3s, 3.5s, 1.5s. It's very hard to keep track of. We're technical, and obviously we understand this quite well. But if you're talking to somebody who's outside of that technical realm, who's new and coming into the industry, it's very confusing. And AI has the opportunity to reset the board for the first time in a very long time. We can actually create these user experiences that augment all of these friction points and challenges away from the user, right? And for me, I'm really excited to see how people during this hackathon not just create agents, but also look at AI as a mechanism to improve user experience all across the board, where we're leveraging the actual capabilities of Hedera that Hedera is very good at, like low cost fixed transactions to USD, as well as super high throughput. So there are a lot of great things about Hedera that make sense in general. And with Hashgraph Online, obviously we're creating standards for AI like OpenConvey, and we're creating tooling and open source SDKs. And through this AI track, Hashgraph Online will also be offering mentorship and playing a big role in the direction of the AI track.
I think it's, you bring up the tracks, and I'm curious, so whoever wants to take, and I know, Laura, you're hopping, I think, soon, but what are the tracks that are involved right now? I know Michael mentioned artificial intelligence. I know that RWAs are kind of a big, past 12 to 18 months, certainly not even necessarily a narrative, just actually happening. But anybody else that wants to take the tracks that are involved within the hackathon would be fantastic.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll take that question. So for the hackathon, we have 4 tracks. The first track is on-chain finance and real-world assets. So this track is about creating better financial tools using Hedera's DLT. So participants can build apps for lending, borrowing, sending fiat or crypto, especially for people who don't have access to banks, especially that we have this use case in Africa. So they can also tokenize real-world assets like houses, farms, or rare materials, so people can invest in them more easily. So the goal is to make finance more open and fair for everyone in Africa. So the second track is DLT for operations. So this track focuses more on using Hedera's DLT to improve how things work in areas like healthcare, farming, and supply chains. So for example, it can help keep patients' records safe, track where food comes from, or make sure farmers get paid on time. So it also supports eco-friendly ideas. So the aim is to make these systems more transparent, secure, and efficient. So the third track is gaming and NFTs. So this track is for people who want to build fun and creative digital experiences. So developers can make games where players earn rewards, create virtual worlds, or even design digital collectibles using NFTs. So it's a space for community-driven tokens and online economies. And the goal is to give users more control and ownership of their digital content. The last track is what Michael mentioned, which is AI. The track combines artificial intelligence with decentralized systems, so participants can build smart apps that learn and improve over time, or create systems for things like energy, transport, or internet services that don't rely on a central authority. So we will be using state-of-the-art Hedera technology like OpenConvey, HCS10, and things that Michael can tell you a lot more about to build this. And yeah, so that's pretty much it about the tracks.
Awesome. I have a kind of a question for Salman here. Is you know, I know exponential science. You guys are involved in some really interesting areas of research, and kind of like bridging the gap. Like it's always interesting, like kind of finding or stumbling across some of the stuff that you guys are doing. I stumbled across like a shared custodial wallet thing that you guys are working on between like the Hedera and XRPL ecosystem and stuff, which is just kind of was really cool.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that like you're interested in and kind of seeing come out of this hackathon? Because you guys are kind of at the ground level of innovation and like really pushing the barriers. Like, what are some things that you would like to see and that you're kind of looking forward to?
All right. Well, thank you so much for your question. That's a really interesting topic to touch up on. So basically, our main focus would obviously be anything across the realms of deep tech meets research. Since we're very focused on the research and IP side of things, we're really interested in startups or potential ideas that could potentially, be amongst that realm of research while also, going into the part of deep tech where they can be commercialized and, potentially become large, strong and powerful ventures that build sustainable value and, that exist on chain, basically, ideally through Hedera.
Awesome. I dropped the link, Ismail, that you shared with us. So for those that are interested, so streaming across the bottom, we have the link tree that will pretty much take you anywhere that you would want to go within the Hedera Africa Hackathon to learn more. What are kind of like the intersections between each organization, I guess, is the next question that I have. And maybe Laura, since you're hopping here in a second. So Laura, maybe I'd love if you could take this, like the role that the Hashgraph Association is taking within the hackathon. And then kind of the relationship with exponential science and DAR blockchain as well. But I know you have to hop soon. So Laura, I definitely wanted to give you another opportunity.
Thanks, Solomon. No one can do anything alone, and since we're a nonprofit as well, and we're trying to develop the blockchain and the digitization ecosystem across the globe, it's always great to be partnering with people that are and corporations that are like-minded, and this is what we've seen with exponential science. They are advocates of technology, of digitization, of blockchain, DLT, AI, and so forth. So this helps when we want to work on joint projects where we can bring in the strengths of each of these organizations to bring something new and innovative. And the same goes for DAR blockchain. They're very focused on developing Africa, on giving the best training. They've done this before. So we're here. We provide the technical knowledge. We help with the helping giving the grants and everything, and then the same we see in others, and that's why we choose the best to work with, and hopefully you'll see something amazing coming out of this event.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Laura. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure.
Michael, I want to ask you again, and I think you are kind of well, everybody here, but I know that the Hedera X AI hackathon just ramped down, and I think there's probably like interesting. Am I getting on echo? Maybe a little bit. Interesting lessons to have kind of been learned from that. So, like when you take the Hedera X AI stand, because I think that you guys were around 75 or 80 submissions that you went through at the end, maybe more than that, and you got it down to like in the teens. What are some things that you kind of look for, or some lessons learned from the Hedera XAI one that you would be taking into the Africa Hackathon and looking forward to?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we did really well with the Hedera AI Agents Hackathon and then the subsequent Hedera's AI pitch competition event is that we made it very kind of like startup focused, right? And that's a big thing for us at Hashgraph Online, is that yes, there are all of these really hungry coders and hackers and all of these ecosystems that want to go and build things. But there is a difference between wanting to build something and wanting to create a sustainable business and startup that actually innovates and moves our industry forward, right? And for me, that's kind of like the biggest thing. Even now, the teams that we worked with during the Hedera AI Agents Hackathon and the demo day, we're still talking to them now, and they're still working on the roadmap and going to that next phase of their business. And that's the really key distinction. I think with this hackathon, there's a lot of money on the line. I know we've said in the past, this might be the biggest hackathon ever with the monetary prizes that are involved. And that is a huge opportunity. I know, looking at it from a startup lens, this could be a life-changing moment for a startup to come in, enter this hackathon and win. That could be initial pre-seed funding for them if they win a first prize to get them off the floor, at least, for 4 to 6 months, especially if you're in a place where it's not as affluent, right? And you don't have as huge access to these streams and revenue outlets. And I think that's huge, right? And I think that we need to position, and I know that we will be doing this really great, position this as an opportunity for you to kickstart your business. And it is, it absolutely is, where you have many examples in the past where companies have won hackathons and they've used that as leverage to secure additional funding, grow their user base, and create a sustainable business. I think number one is that sustainability is super important, right? Number two, I think pushing and mentoring at the highest degree of excellence is also really important. One thing that I want to personally kind of keep an eye out is the submissions that are coming in, not just at the end of the hackathon when the period is closing, but really doing direct outreach to everyone that's participating to understand what is it that you're building. Is it valuable? And then just giving you that space to provide that direct mentorship and guidance, like, hey, look, this is a really cool idea, but it's not going to work, okay? People need to hear that because otherwise they will keep churning away at something forever. And maybe they know something that we don't. That's possible. It's always possible. But there is also a lot of power in clear mentorship and guidance towards, well, this little tweak can send your model into something that actually is sustainable versus isn't sustainable. So I think being on the ground floor, providing that mentorship is also really super important with hackathons like that. And my team will be available at all times for this. We run a weekly Hedera X AI space, which is one of the best places to ask. But also I know that the team at 𝐇𝐞𝐝 and the organizers of the hackathon, they have a dedicated Telegram channel that everyone should join if you haven't joined that yet, to get support and mentorship and guidance. They also have a Discord channel if you prefer Discord. And Hashgraph Online also has a Telegram channel. So you have a lot of options where you can dig in and get that mentorship. And I suggest everyone who's watching this stream right now, if you are thinking about entering, get it as soon as possible, because it's very rare that you get access to all of these great and talented people who can provide that guidance. You don't get that often. Even if you don't win the hackathon, it can still help you position your business. It's free advice. Normally, in the startup ecosystem, we have these things called advisors, or people call advisors, and they will take equity from your company to offer this kind of advice. You will be getting it for free through the hackathon. So it's a huge opportunity that you should not miss. If anything else, excluding the monetary component, if you really want to create a startup that's successful, take advantage of that as much as you can. Message me, message the folks on this call, reach out to the folks in the Telegram and the Discord, and get that feedback. And I think the last thing that's super important is around the actual pitch and the execution of the narrative. We definitely saw a lot of great pitches and narratives submitted during Hedera X AI. And my hope is that with this prize pool that we have here, we can 100x that. Sometimes the idea that you have, while technically feasible and great, is almost as important as the narrative and the branding behind that idea. And we have mentorship and advice for that too. So I think those are some key ideas. I don't know if I exactly answered your question, Ryan, but I hope that was helpful.
No, I think it's an interesting point because, like, hackathons certainly aren't a new thing, but I think that we're starting to see more maturity in this space too, to the point where, I'm hoping, like, I think we're hopefully moving beyond like the bounty hunter developers moving from hackathon to hackathon. And I think we are, because we're starting to see like accelerators kind of coming off of the back end of these. And I guess the question that I have, and maybe it's best for Jaffer, is, I can see even just going on the Hedera Hacks account that there's like some sessions and seminars going on. But then as these projects, start to ramp up through the hackathon, like what does the mentorship kind of look like? What are some of the opportunities that you are kind of looking forward to seeing coming off the back end of this hackathon for like talent retention or project retention? Can you just maybe walk us through that a little bit?
Sure. So this hackathon, I think, is different from maybe other hackathons that we've been doing within the Hedera ecosystem, and maybe more with the Web3 ecosystem, because now we have this focus basically to onboard Web2 startups to come to build on Hedera. And to do that, we are leveraging our partnership, an ongoing partnership that we have with Orange Digital Centers. For those who don't know, Orange Digital Centers, they exist, I think, since a while. They're behind, part of Orange, the telecommunication company, and they have their whole ecosystem around Web2 startups. They have their incubation programs, they have their hackathon, they have their VCs as well. And we've built this partnership. It was a three-party partnership. As Orange Digital Centers, they have this willingness to start working and start being part of this Web3 movement. But they don't have the expertise to not their focus. So together with the Hashgraph Association as well as Dar Blockchain, we've helping them to bring all the educational layer and create this opportunity of collaboration. And we did this since 2023. We started collaborating with the Orange Digital Center in Morocco, and we invested in several startups that are initially coming from the Web2 world, coming to the Web3, and we saw this as a success. So we said, let's replicate it. And this collaboration, I think it's very fruitful, because this hackathon is happening online, as we mentioned, and everyone from everywhere can join this hackathon. However, and in collaboration with Orange Digital Center, we are working on building these hacking stations across the continent, across Africa. And Orange Digital Center exists in 16 countries on the continent, from the north to the south, to east to the east of Africa. Also, we have other offices in the Middle East. And the idea is that we have the focus to onboard, of course, early stage startups, students as well. We're building, as I mentioned earlier, several partnerships with more than 100 university across the continent. And we have also other Web3 startups coming from other networks to build on Hedera, and that's something we are really looking forward to see, especially some use cases that run well on other networks that we want to see running on Hedera. But these Web2 initiatives coming to, they're already having their own traction. They have already built their momentum, and the idea that we will be giving them the floor basically to add that GLT layer and tackle maybe new markets, have a new pivots of if it's the right word to use, and target that. And to do that, we need a whole education sessions, and a whole calendar is built. So we are really now focusing on putting this calendar online. Guys, you will see it in a few days. We are already doing several sessions on a weekly basis now. Join the X and the Discord, Telegram of Hedera Hacks, where you can see all these activities happening, you can be part of it. We have also our LMS, like it's basically a certified course where you can join, watch some videos, have some quizzes, and pass an exam, and you get the certificate that will give you access to be part of this hackathon. But not only, we have several programs that you will be eligible for if you have the certificate. And from educational point of view, like we are doing, like we are investing a lot in this educational layer. We are doing it either from the HashGraph Association point of view, exponential science as well, DAO blockchain, but also our partners. Michael from HashGraph Online, also they will be providing big like support in terms of mentorship, in terms of workshops as well, and other partners that we are onboarding, like Orange, one of them, and definitely like they are having this on the ground, on-site presence to provide all what is needed from a business perspective, and we are there to bring also the technical parts. And I don't want to mention other names because now we are still in the phase of preparing the hacking phase, which starts by the 1st of August. But by the 1st of August, we will be announcing most of the partners that will be supporting this huge initiative, and every partner coming, bringing a value to support one of the tracks, one of the sub-tracks. It's going from the agriculture part to the sustainability, talking about DeFi, big focus on AI as well, deeping, like asset tokenizations. We'll be like talking a lot about Guardian, also that can help several initiatives either working on the sustainability part or also on the asset tokenization part. So the program is heavy. We really like happy that we will be providing this educational journey. And as Michael mentioned, in the regular world, like in order to have this advisory, you should either pay or on board give like an equity for these type of advisors. And we are doing it for free for the community, for people to join us and build on Hedera.
Awesome. Well, I know I have the site up, and there's a kind of a bunch going on, really, starting now, kicking off at the very beginning of August. Michael, maybe can you tell us a little bit? Just, we're not going to totally ramp down here, but I think that we can kind of walk it out and just talk about all the stuff that's about to kind of start. And just to preface again, open and available to anybody globally to participate in this hackathon, $1 million prize pool. Michael, from HashGraph Online standpoint, you guys are doing a lot of advocacy. I think a space every Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I know that Genfinity and you guys are doing a space. We're doing a space next Thursday to talk about the AI track, and I'm assuming maybe Jaffer and Ismail might be here as well. But tell us about what's coming up, Michael, for you guys at least, and then we'll walk through everybody here.
Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff. Number one, if you haven't attended the Hedera X AI spaces, I highly, highly recommend attending these for multiple reasons. Number one, almost every single space has a giveaway or a prize involved. Last week, we gave away $100 in pack tokens through a pitch competition. And the idea with the pitch competitions is you get like 45 seconds to pitch an idea for your startup that you will be entering in the hackathon. Now, the best part about this is, one, you get the chance to win these prizes, but also you are getting live practice and mentorship on your idea before you get to the end of the hackathon, which is going to be really important later on. You want to get good at pitching because, one, it is an integral part of running a startup in any ecosystem. You need to be a good speaker if you are running a company. That's number one. You need to be able to convey your ideas in a great way so everyone understands them. And that includes dumbing it down and simplifying as much as possible. 45 seconds forces you to do that in a lot of ways. So we run these pitch competitions during the Hedera X AI spaces. It's a big audience, and you get feedback on your ideas as well, if they make sense or not, which will help you kind of augment your idea when you actually enter and build it out for the 2-month period in the hackathon. We also cover research and news within the AI space, and we bring up special guests from not just Web3, but also outside of Web3. So it'll be a really fun space to be involved in. For the Hedera Africa Hackathon, we are also providing mentorship, not just on the AI side, but also if you have general questions about Hedera, how it works, how to use certain things, that space is a good place to ask. We have mentors from all across the ecosystem through HashGraph Online DAO, that'll be there. As a reminder, Hashgraph Online is a DAO consortium. So we have 10 of the leading companies on Hedera who are part of our DAO, and they are usually present at these spaces, which means you can ask them questions, and that can kind of help shape your idea and form partnerships for what you're actually planning to do. So 𝐸𝐸𝐴I, every week, Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, we have one coming up this week. We're also going to be hosting at least 4 workshops during the hacking period. They'll cover a wide range of topics on how to build AI using the AI tools within the ecosystem, like the agent kit, standards SDK, another conversational agent as well. And those will be really helpful, and they'll be probably in a format like this one, actually, as a live stream, where you'll be able to join, listen in, and ask questions in a asynchronous format. We also, as mentioned, on top of having mentorship within the 𝐸𝐸𝐴I spaces, we'll be offering mentorship from Telegram channels. So we have our dev roles available in the Hedera Hacks Telegram and within our community's Telegram. So I highly recommend that if you do run into questions, ask them, and ask them in advance, right? The last thing you want to do is, like, the night before the submission, to be asking questions in a mad panic because you can't get something to work. This is a long, long hackathon. You have 2 months to build, ship, and perfect something and actually get it in a deployable state, especially with agentic tooling today. It's easier than ever to actually ship something. So yes, I think, you know, the goal of the hackathon is get something up on testnet, but I encourage you to challenge yourself and actually deploy it in production. Test it out, run it through the Hedera's community and see if it makes sense. That's the best way that you can get legitimate feedback, is to launch in production. Of course, as an aside, it's not a legal recommendation. If your solution depends on things like smart contracts, please get them audited before you launch them publicly. So we'll be doing a lot of that, as well as blogs and other learning materials as Hashgraph Online. Will be generally available through our Telegram and other channels. So just keep an eye out.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, basically a podcast a podcast or a space a week, as you mentioned, where you pretty much have access to, you know, one of many of kind of the leading ecosystem infrastructure providers on Hedera, whether that be from the wallet standpoint or the DeFi standpoint or whatever it is from the DAO standpoint through Hashgraph Online, which is huge in and of itself, let alone workshops and everything else that you guys are doing. And then on the Hedera Hacks page, you can kind of see here, obviously, there's like unique and individual training sessions. I mean, like, you know, I'm always amazed, and this is like totally a sidebar. You know, I do see like stories of like people that have just totally like decided to basically, you know, get in the weeds with crypto, distributed ledger tech, and blockchain, and just like start learning. And there's so many opportunities out there that weren't here 5 or 6 years ago. Like, really, like, if you want to do something in this space at this point, it's like people are literally like handing you opportunities to like to start innovating. And it's like always amazing to me that more people aren't taking that. So I mean, these are huge opportunities to sit down, learn how to, you know, code, learn how to build front end UX and UI, whatever you need to do. The stuff Cantor is talking about. We're going to be, I guess, from Genfinity, as I know mentioned briefly. I know we're going to be doing multiple podcasts, probably some with Hashgraph Online, hopefully some with, you know, maybe some of the sponsors of the hackathon, or, you know, however we want to do it. But this is kind of just that first generic info session. Again, to preface, available to anybody in the globe to participate in this. It's a fully online hackathon. It is, you know, the Hedera Africa Hackathon, but anybody can participate. There's like, it's kind of low hanging fruit. But Jaffer, I'm going to move to you here for closing thoughts, forward looking statements, and I'll get to Ismail and Salman, and we'll ramp it down here. Anything I missed?
Yeah, thank you for sharing this. So I remember back to the old days when I've been like joining this blockchain and this Web3 space. We would not even call it Web3 by that time, but it was super hard to build. It was the like kind of impossible task for non-technical like profiles to be able to build. I think today it's not the case anymore. We have a lot of luxury being part of this ecosystem, have the needed funding, have this advisory, and we are doing this one like definitely like anyone from everywhere can join. but we are doing this one with a focus on the African continent as what we call the Mama continent. And it's really made for the people, from the people like myself. And I'll not take the time to present myself, but I was born and raised in Tunisia, which is in North Africa. Today I'm leading, working with the Hashgraph Association, and I'm the regional lead for Africa within the Hashgraph Association. I'm also the co-founder of DAR Blockchain, and this project is one of the project that I'm doing, putting lots of efforts, because I'm doing it for the people, for the community, and really looking forward to see how this will impact the Web3 community on the continent. The hackathon is only the beginning of a long journey. So as Michael mentioned in the first place, the winners mainly, but also the non-winners that will need some support, we will be there to help them. We'll be there to do follow-up investment if needed, to do introductions to some partners, to clients. And this is maybe one of the things that you cannot find in all the layer ones. Like on Hedera, we have that willingness to connect the dots, to bring this new initiative to the other one and create this synergy between all the actors. And we are committed to do this within from the Hashgraph Association point of view, but also as DARU Blockchain main mission is to bridge the Web3 to the continent. So please, guys, join us. Take your time to think about what idea can you join with, but don't take too much, because we are doing some sessions to brainstorm. We are also doing sessions to connect you maybe with the rank team members to be able to shine and maybe find your co-founder of a new solution. We are also providing sessions to help you brainstorm if you are a Web2 startup looking to leverage this new technology and what it can bring to your business. So we have dedicated sessions for you. It's a whole infrastructure that we are putting a lot of energy, and it's really coming for the real value that will be added. So we'll definitely do some mistakes while doing this, and but we are doing lots, and I think anyone coming either from a participation point of view, or from a community onboarding point of view, or from a sponsor point of view, you are more than welcome to provide ideas, to tell us, hey, this is not working well, please can you adjust or something. So I'm happy to take all this feedback and providing the best hackathon for the continent and for the globe.
Awesome. And again, streaming at the bottom here is the Linktree link for all the information that you guys would need, as well as Hedera Tech hackathon.hashgraph.swiss. Ismail, closing thoughts, forward-looking statements, and we'll get to Salman and we'll ramp it down.
100%. So just echoing what Jafar was saying, not only now is it much easier to build Web3 projects, especially with Hedera's state-of-the-art DLT technology, but also I think Africa is primed to become the capital of Web3, because Web3 sees its most utility in use cases that are really effective in Africa, like growing up in Tunisia too, which is a closed currency economy, like crypto and DeFi was our only way out to the world, to get paid, to be working on international projects. Crypto opens pathways for people, both financially and technologically. And it makes the most sense that we see in countries like Nigeria, like Kenya, like Morocco, Tunisia, where there's the biggest adoption of these products of Web3, and there's the biggest willingness for people to make real utility out of these products. So that's why we're seeing focus, and we're seeing visionaries like the Hashgraph Association and the Exponential Science Foundation taking this opportunity and empowering these African communities to build real economic utility and to empower the African economic scene by building on Hedera. So again, closing thoughts for me is please join the Linktree. I put it also in the comments. Join the Hedera Hacks Twitter channel for all updates. And you also will find in the Linktree the link for the certification that you'll get for free again. And then Discord and Telegram for to build your teams and to start hacking. Just one thing, Solomon, the hackathon is online, but also we'll be having more than 20 hacking stations across 20 plus cities in Africa where people can join these physical spaces, find teams, hack, have fun, have meetups, and thanks to our partners and sponsors for making this happen.
Yeah, as Ismail mentioned, the hackathon is online, but there's also physical event hacking stations all the way from Cairo to Nairobi to, I mean, you can read the whole list here. It's kind of all spread across, which is pretty awesome. In Johannesburg. Salman, we're going to ramp down with you here. Closing thoughts, forward-looking statements, what you're looking forward to from Exponential Science Foundation standpoint, and thank you for joining.
All right. Okay. So thank you to everyone on this call. Thank you to Jafar and Ismail for also, and Michael for, going ahead and telling us all about this hackathon. And I mean, just some final points here. The African continent is one of the most talented continents ever. Like, the amount of talent that's present there is just immense. And that really stems out of there not being a lot of opportunity and there being a lot of people who want to work on themselves to get better and to be able to access these opportunities. So now these talents have a platform wherein they can actually go out there and build something that the world can know of. They have a place where their talents and their ideas can be amplified on an international level. And this is really an opportunity that is not to be missed for anyone who's really waiting on their chance. So yeah, I mean, with that, thank you so much for setting this up and for having us. And back to you.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody joining today. Thank you to Laura from the Hashgraph Association, Jaffer, Dar Blockchain and Ismail, Michael from Hashgraph Online, and Salman from Exponential Science Foundation. That being said, this Thursday you can check out Hashgraph Online's Twitter space. I think that's at 12 p.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken. Next Thursday, we're going to be doing an AI track space for the Hedera Africa Hackathon in collaboration with Hashgraph Online. And there's going to be multiple kind of more coming down the pipeline. This all ramps up at the very beginning of August, but really kind of starting now. So make sure you guys are going in there, learning more about the Hedera Africa Hackathon, but it's a global event online. This is kind of really the page you want to maybe land on here, dorahacks.io. There's a bunch of info in here for how to participate too. And we'll be doing many more of these podcasts. So I appreciate everybody's time today. Stay with me, everybody up here, while I ramp this down and make sure I get the recordings. And yeah, thank you to the audience for watching as well.
Thank you so much. See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.